Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Noel Zone. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. I said I'd come on for about half an hour or so and do a bit of entertainment news. And I'm just looking at some of the stuff that's caught me interest. So you all know Andrew Scott from Sherlock. Obviously, he played the great Moriarty. I thought he played the role very well. He's one of my favourite actors, I've got to be honest. But Andrew Scott praised for calling on the phrase openly gay to be retired. Andrew Scott was discussing his experience in the industry with fellow stars, including Coleman, Domingo, and Robert Downey Jr., when he approached attitudes towards acting and sexuality. Andrew has urged the television and film industry to abandon using the term openly gay when describing out performers from the LGBTQ community. But you see, here's the problem, Andrew. I actually agree with you. I think we should get rid of all labels, to be quite honest, because they're very divisive anyway, and they cause a lot of friction between different people within the LGBTQ plus community. There's a lot of gay and lesbian people that don't subscribe to this community. Don't subscribe to labels. Your sexuality should have no bearing on you getting a role anyway. I think we've moved on from the early days in the industry where actors and actresses' sexuality was covered up by studios. We've seen that, especially happened during the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And it did really actually continue up. And then you obviously all remember the AIDS epidemic. And then, again, gay men and lesbians had to shy away. And then the industry kind of reacted to that. But I think we've moved on, and I think we moved past all of these types of labels. But it's the left that are everywhere. The radical left, they're the ones that are setting this narrative. They're the ones that are being divisive. So I actually agree there 100% with Andrew Scott. As I said, you shouldn't be judged on your sexuality. If you're a good enough actor, which he played Moriarty brilliantly. I thought he was brilliant. I think, Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, they kind of missed the trick, because I believe he should have been in it a lot more than what he was. And, I think they could have really developed the Moriarty character. But they didn't really do that, did they? But Andrew Scott, yeah, absolutely terrific actor. So I have to say, I do agree. The media have decided. Look, Matthew Perry, as you know, recently died, and fans of Friends have been heartbroken. Right, I have to even say when he died, I was a bit sad myself, because even though I wasn't a huge fan of Friends, like everybody seemed to be, including my wife, I did enjoy the show, but I wasn't a fan. But I did enjoy episodes and stuff like that. And Matthew Perry's character, Chandler Bing, was one of my favourite characters in the show. Well, I've got to be honest with that. So when he did die, and the way he died, I was a bit sad. But, what annoys me is we all know that Matthew Perry had a troubled past, right, with drugs and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he went down that path. And when you go down that path, you do things, you say things, and that you wouldn't normally do. It's not representative of your true character. It's because you're fucked up in the head. So US Weekly have decided that it's a great time now to remind the world how much of a scumbag he was when he was actually on all of this stuff. And I'm kind of like, while I used to kind of read all of that shit back in the day, I'm kind of like, will you leave it out, man? The man is dead now. We all know he made mistakes, but he also did a lot of good as well. So, Not everybody is perfect. Not every single human being is perfect. We all have flaws, and so did Matthew Perry. Leave it out, like the guy just recently passed away. Will he let his family mourn his passing and his friends, like? Do you know what I mean? Coming out and being absolutely ridiculous. It is. Of course, it is, man. I hate that now. But that's the world we live in. People thrive on all of that shit and love it and love reporting on it and stuff like that. Like you'll have YouTube channels that'll actually go into all of the bad shit that he did. I mean, what's the point? Why dig it up? He's dead. Do you know what I mean? He was a flawed human being like we all are. Okay. Anyway, another entertainment news. I just wanted to bring that up because that does annoy me, right? But in other entertainment news, Julia Roberts. Now, whether you like her or not as an actress, I think she's been great in some movies, and I've liked some of her roles over the years. I'm not going to lie, but she's always been a bit of a weirdo, in my opinion. But she's come out with this statement, and I mean, I'm kind of like, well, you know, you don't really need to come out and say that. I don't think anybody wants to see it stripped down. So apparently, Julia Roberts won't strip down for roles, celebrates G-rated career, right? I mean, she's been in some terrific movies. I mean, you're acting. Erin Brockovich is one of the best movies she's ever done. No word of a lie. She's brilliant in that movie, right? She's a great actress. You don't need to strip down. You're a great actress, but the fact that in 2024 you have to bring that up or something with some sort of badge of honor, fair play to you. You haven't stripped down for roles, great. But in fairness, if I'm correct in saying, did you strip down in Pretty Woman? I'm pretty sure you did. Uh, so I mean, we didn't see anything because it was Pretty Woman, which wouldn't happen in real life, but it's still a good movie. Yeah, it is, and the soundtrack is banging in that movie, I've got to say. But it's a crack of shit. That would never happen. I mean, there's no way a rich guy would. Yeah, well, maybe it would now in 2024. I don't know, but it's an implausible story. But I'm pretty sure she stripped down for that one. I could be wrong. And then she had that movie Sleeping with the Enemy as well. I don't think she really did in that one, but she's done some terrific movies. But I don't know why actresses nowadays feel like they have to come out and say, "Oh, I'm not going to strip off in my movies." Who gives a shit? Do you think that's all men want to watch? Like when we watch movies, women strip off. Like that's why we watch horrors and stuff like that. Bikini clad fucking women and all of that running while they're being bleeding, chased with someone with a weapon in their hands. Because that's what horrors. Because they're always like, that's the way Hollywood portrays them. But I just don't get this. I never have. And it just kind of confuses me. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? If you sign up for a role, okay, and you agree to sign a contract, and in that role, there's some sort of nudity or something, you've signed up for that, right? Now, I'm not saying that she's that's what she's saying, but I'm going to say it out straight to all these feminist actresses out there. Listen, you don't have to take these roles, right? But you do, and then years later you complain that you were made stripper, but you signed the contract. You signed the contract in the first place. If you were uncomfortable with it in the first place, you wouldn't have took it, but you took it because you wanted the fame, because you wanted the publicity, right? You wanted everything that comes with being in the movie. And it's the same with blokes as well. Like, if they start moaning about shit as well, I say, suck it up. You signed the contract. You knew what you were getting into. So this shouldn't even be an argument. If someone comes with a role, right, and you read the script and there's a bit of nudity and you feel uncomfortable doing it, that's great. That's all right. That's fine, right? But to make an issue out of it, To make an issue out of it is just unbelievable. We're just doing entertainment news, just random news. I'm not kind of doing Hollywood and stuff, Hollywood news and stuff like that. I'm just picking. I mean, we spoke about Andrew Scott, then we spoke about Matthew Perry. We've been speaking about Julia Roberts. There, she's complaining about that she won't strip down for roles. Well, in fairness, Julia, nobody's asking you to, and if you're offered the script, you can turn it down. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see an issue. I don't even know why this is even being brought up or why the media want to focus on stuff like that. As I said, if you don't want to do the role because it goes against your morals or your beliefs, I understand that 100%. Everybody does. But to make an issue out of it when there's not really an issue, kind of does me head in. Kind of similar to Keira Knightley, who now suddenly has an issue with Pirates of the Caribbean years later. Well, that movie franchise made her. I mean, if she wants to go and start hammering at a franchise that made her in the first place, then go ahead. Do you know what? They're ungrateful, they are. It's like some of those actors and actresses out of Harry Potter, because I know not all of them actually came out after JK. Some of them had the common sense to actually, back her up. But those little runts, the fact that they disrespected all of their careers are owed to J.K. Rowling, whether they like it or not. It was her creation that they starred in. So this is the kind of society that we're living in, right? It's just people are just there's so much self-entitlement. It's actually unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, I brought this up yesterday on Twitter, right? And I'm addressing this to the British media, not the British people. But you need to stop, right? You actually need to stop, right? When you go and try claim one of our actors or actresses that's won a Golden Globe or wins a BAFTA or wins an Oscar, it's highly disrespectful, right? And you've done it again, right? And this is the thing and Sky News is the biggest culprit of them all, got to be honest with you. But their UK media are just as bad. Listen, you have our own talented actors, actresses, sports people, right? When Conor McGregor won his championship, I remember it being on Sky News. British fighter Conor McGregor wins, blah blah blah. He's not British. He was born in Dublin, where I was, right, in the same area, right, that I grew up in. So again, this kind of is annoying me now because they keep doing it and it pisses me off, right? We've got our own, you got your own stars. Again, even when Colin Farrell was doing well, will you just leave it out, right? Leave it out. You took Bob Geldof, you took Terry Wogan, you took Graham Norton, right? You have Ryan Tuberty now, right? But they're all assholes anyway, but it doesn't matter. But do you know what I mean? You take all of our Irish talent anyway, right? But you can't let us have one little thing. Now, Barry winning that Golden Globe, fair play to him. Do you know what? He's been doing well lately. And, in fairness, I think he should have won a lot more because he's an absolutely terrific actor. And he's playing all of these different diverse roles as well, which is brilliant. And that's what you need to do. That's what Daniel Day-Lewis was brilliant at doing as well. And by the way, I do know that Daniel Day-Lewis, before anybody has a go, I'm just saying Daniel Day-Lewis does diverse roles. That's why he keeps winning Oscars. Okay, so before anybody has a go at me, right? Okay, Daniel Day-Lewis is just a fucking legend, and he classes himself as Irish and English, like, so. You know what I mean? We're happy with that one. There's some actors or actresses out there that we both claim, and nobody has a problem with that, right? But it's just the media. It is just the media, right? It's not the British people. The British people wouldn't give a fuck who Barry is. Do you know what I mean? Like they'd like to see, but I'm not going to say they don't like to see the Irish do well. Of course they do. We like to see the Brits do well in the TV industry. When the Brits clear up, we're like, well, me personally, I do be delighted. Do you know what I mean? Because it's always America, 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 isn't it? But when the Brits and the Irish do well, we should be fucking patting each other on the fucking back. The media should be. You should be celebrating, you know what I mean? Instead of claiming, you should say, brilliant for Ireland, brilliant for the actor. Do you know what I mean? Give our fucking industry a bit of a fucking pat on the back. I'm actually just sick and tired of it, right? Because everybody goes, JWC reviews just had to say that there. Everybody goes on about culture appropriation, right? And I don't really give a shit. I actually don't. Do you know what? I really don't, right? But because people keep saying that it is an issue, well, yeah, I have a problem now. Why is this so? This is what I can't understand. Why is it okay for Americans and everybody around the world to appropriate Irish culture, right? But we're not allowed to say anything. But as soon as you culture appropriate something from fucking from any other country, there's fucking uproar. There's fucking uproar. Listen, I'm glad their culture is liked around the world. Do you know what I mean? As I said, it doesn't really bother me. Like, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants their culture appropriated. Do you know what I mean? But if people love our culture so much and want to say, you know, experience it, I have no problem with that, right? And I think the majority of us are the same. But because people on the left make such an issue about culture appropriation, I'm going to stick it to them now. Yeah, leave Irish culture a fuck alone, right? It's all right for every single motherfucker out there to appropriate air bleeding culture, right? I'm sick of it, man. I'm actually sick of it, right? We can't have our own winners here. You know what I mean? It's like the British media are still of the mindset of putting Ireland down every opportunity that they get. Right? It's not the people, as I said, the media, because as I know, I've met loads of us from the UK, right, through this channel and stuff like that. And I have family members that were actually born in Birmingham and moved to Ireland. So fucking hell, there's a connection there. But it's absolutely, I'm serious, man. It's getting actually really ridiculous now at this stage. Yeah, well, PD, do you know what? You probably have a fucking spot on there. Do you know that? Yeah. I mean, that's. Do you know what? But even you saying that and me looking at that in 2024, and I'm like, Jesus, we really have fallen as a society, haven't we? When that could actually be, and that probably is uh, the reason. Because remember, partly racism only works one way. If you're non-white, right, then if you say something, you're racist. But if you say that to a white person, right, and look, racism, I'm gonna say it out straight, right? I've said this a few times on this channel. Racism has no boundaries. Racism is not exclusive to one skin color. Right? It's as simple as that. Right? But there are people out there, unfortunately, that have convinced the masses that it is exclusive to one skin color. And those people should be locked up because what they've done is they've caused chaos and division within society. I think we were moving in the right direction we were, look at, for me personally, 10 years ago, this world was a better place. We were moving in the right direction, in my belief. Yes, things were starting to fucking rear their ugly head, but there was none of this. There was none of this division between blacks and whites, especially in America. They were starting to, because they worked hard over there, right, to get on with each other, and it was working. And then a couple of incidents that people saw, they used it for their own benefit. And then the Black Lives Matter movement was, and now look at half of those people behind it have multi-million pound dollar mansions, and are actually, some of them are being investigated for fraud. So be under no illusion, the people that caused this division, right, didn't actually want to heal anything, right? They just wanted to make money, and that's what it is at the end of the day. There's a lot of grifters out there, even in our society, that will use anything dreadful and then spin it to cause emotional stress to everybody, and play on people's emotions so people get angry, and then they blindly follow these movements, right? But at the same time, then the movement comes out and says, right, we're getting loads of support, but now we need your donations because we want to set up educational centres and all of this other rubbish that never transpires, by the way. And then what happens is then a year or two later, then the main league come out, and then you find out that they're living in a mansion somewhere in the nice part of America and all of this. And that's what it's always been. Same with the climate people, right? Look at them, they're all living in fucking gaps, flying jets all over the world and all of this, right? It's the same shit, man. People need to wake up. It's all a con job, right? We were going in the right direction. Now we've been set back decades because of all of this. Because there's division everywhere in society. It's not just with race anymore. There's division in everything. It doesn't matter what you talk about, whether it's politics, religion, anything, there's division, right? And that's the kind of society that they want. Remember, there was a time where we could have strong, healthy debate. Sometimes it would get really emotional, right? But it was just that, a debate. People behind the scenes or people alive on stream, you would air your grievances, get it done and over with, and then as soon as you finished, that was it. It was forgotten about and you moved on. But that's not the way it is anymore today. Well, that the NGOs are the ones you have to get out of every country. Once you get them out, then you're halfway there, but still a lot of work to be done to convince the brainwashed sheep that they have been brainwashed. And again, that's what I said. That's setting us back decades now. Because to fix all of this, even when we get the NGOs out and all of that, it's going to take decades to fix in every country what has been done to the country. Because remember, they infiltrated all of society, the educational system, science, everywhere. They're everywhere, right? So it's going to take decades to fix all of this. So yeah, there is no debate now. You're absolutely right. They don't debate now because, the bottom line is that they never have anything to back up what they say. So this is just had to pop it in 33 minutes ago. This is breaking news. So Mia Farrow's sister, Tissa Farrow, dies as Rosemary Baby star shares heartbreaking tribute. So her sister is at the passing away. And as we all know, Mia Farrow has been dealing with, with her stepdaughter, I think it is, or whatever, that stuff with Woody Allen. So that woman's been through the fucking ringer, and she's after losing her sister now. So rest in peace to her sister. But Jesus, me thoughts and prayers are with Mia Farrow. She's had some bleeding life, that woman. Jesus. So yeah, Conan O'Brien, the US host, is over here. Our comedian is over here. I used to love the Conan and O'Brien show on TBS, and I used to watch it all the time. He was actually he was my favorite host over there. I used to watch Letterman a lot as well back in the day, but it was Letterman and him, in my opinion. But he's over here in Dublin. Because he's going to be appearing on the Late Late Show with Patrick Kilty, which I haven't watched since Patrick took over, because after the first episode aired, I went into the comment section on X, and it just seemed more the same propaganda bullshit that they've done. And we were hoping that Patrick Kilty would come in and actually start putting on a Late Late Show. Do you know what? Gay Byrne's Late Late Show will always be the best, in my opinion. Right? No matter what you thought of Gay Byrne, right? The bottom line is when he started doing his show, there was proper debate on it. Right? Do you remember the time when contraceptives were banned in Ireland, and he brought on religious factions and people coming on saying that they should abolish that law and all of this, and there was huge debate. There was huge debate on that. That's what the Late Late Show should be doing, right? But it hasn't. It's been propaganda for RTE now, or propaganda for the government, and do you know what? The thing about the Late Late Show, you know why I don't watch the Late Late Show, right? Because every time, every season, the Late Late Show is basically a platform for former RTE stars that have left, that have a book or have written, done something, right? And it's always the same guests, it's always the same comedians, right? The odd time they might get the big star in, right? But now RTE's broke, they won't be able to bring in the big, huge stars, or unless that's why they're broke, because they're trying to get in all of these stars. But it'd be very, very rare that they bring in a Hollywood megastar, like the way Graham Norton does. Like, he's able to bring them in all the time. Obviously, BBC's budget is bigger than RTE's, but still, you'd think they could get different guests on, not have the same tired old guests all the time. But Conan O'Brien will be on the Late Late Show. I'm pretty sure it will be funny, but I can't watch. This happened 3 weeks ago, but nobody spoke about it. So US actor Charlie Sheen was the victim of an assault, say LA authorities. So Charlie Sheen, victim of assault in LA. Let's see what they say here. Woman. Oh, it's a woman. A woman has been arrested after 2.5 Men star Charlie Sheen was assaulted in Los Angeles, the LA County Sheriff's Department said. The attack happened on Wednesday at 1 p.m. after the U.S. authorities were called to report of a battery and a disturbance. Upon contacting the parties involved, deputies identified Charlie Sheen as the victim of assault. It was confirmed. I mean, there's a lot of people that believe that Charlie Sheen should be in prison. Now, as I say, you know, everybody has a side to them. And we do know that Charlie Sheen, again, another one of these actors plagued by, you know, abusing substances and stuff like that. And he's gotten himself into a lot of controversy over the last couple of years. There are people out there that believe he was responsible for certain, I won't get into it, but basically, you go down this rabbit hole of Charlie Sheen. And don't get me wrong, right, before I knew anything about all of this stuff, I was a huge fan of 2.5 Men. And I watched it religiously. As soon as he was gone, though, I did give the other one a go, but it was never the same, and I actually checked out then. But yeah, it's actually, you know what, when I saw that headline, I was like, well, that's a turn for the books, isn't it? Because, you know, as I said, Charlie Sheen's had a bit of a troubled time, and the LA authorities have been called on him plenty of times, I can tell you. But yeah, interesting. have to say. Also, yeah, there's been this thing. So apparently, right, I don't know how true it is. Now, you Brits obviously know about this person more than anybody else on the planet, but so apparently, do you remember Megan? Now, I've never watched it, right? I've never watched it. Cheryl has watched a few episodes, right, or whatever, or she has watched it, something like that, whatever. She has seen it. So there was this show that Meghan Markle was on called Suits, right? And apparently on the red carpet recently, a journalist asked some of the cast, because they were celebrating an anniversary, would there be any possibility that Meghan Markle could return to Suits? Right? Now, when I asked Cheryl how good Meghan Markle was in Suits, I mean, let's just say it wasn't the greatest report, but it wasn't shit either. Apparently, she's an alright actress, right? But the first scene that you see of her, she's in the car uh, with her head in some bloke's lap, is what I could say without getting into trouble on YouTube, right? Okay, so apparently there seems to be this. Maybe it's the Meghan Markle fans are themselves, a little simps, and they're pushing this narrative. But it's been pushed so much that the media now have started to ask the cast members. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're probably saying to themselves, "What are these people on?" Like, she might have left. Listen, it's never happening anyway, right? Okay, so you need to leave that out. Unless she divorces Prince Harry, right? You'll never see Meghan Markle act again. There is no way that will. I'm telling you now, that will cause such uproar, right? It's not happening, right? It's not happening. But these Sims, I don't know what the obsession is with her. To be quite, I actually don't get the obsession with Meghan Markle. I mean, from what I've seen, read like everybody else, um, she doesn't seem to be a nice person. Um, so you know, I mean, here's another headline with them, right? Because obviously I clicked into one, so another one come up. I mean, listen to this, right? This is the headline from the Mirror. Meghan and Harry close to sell an 11 million home as neighbours are sick of them. Yeah, because they're probably going outside with their signs. Privacy, privacy. Do you remember South Park took the piss out of them? Right? That's what it's probably fucking like. Megan's outside. Privacy, privacy, we want their privacy. Well, get inside the door and keep your mouth shut then. That's how you get privacy. You don't go on constantly onto cameras and say, oh, you want privacy. Just like if you want privacy, right, you got enough money, find a fucking island, build a lovely little fucking house for you, your kids, and your husband, right? And stay there. But you don't want privacy. You pretend you want privacy, but what you want is you still want the limelight. But unfortunately, you can't have that because you decided to marry the ginger cunt, right? So that was a mistake that you made. If you still wanted an acting career, which you didn't, you wanted the high life. Now you've gotten a taste of it. You know it's not as good as you actually thought it was going to be. And now you want your cake and eat it, right? It's not happening, right? Bottom line is the only way that you get your acting career back, if that's what you really want, is you have to divorce him, right? Because the royal family and the British people themselves, no matter what they say, no matter what the lefties twats say, right? The majority of British people are traditional when it comes to things with the royal family. There is no way that the British people would be understanding for that, right? The whole point is she's part of that family business. She's supposed to do her fucking part, right? Not actually, well, they all make money themselves anyway. But you know what I mean? Not exclusively go out. They have to be seen to be doing stuff. That's the whole illusion. Anyway, I would be pissed if they were my neighbours. To be quite honest with you, and I wouldn't be surprised if people are sick of them. They probably throw parties all the time or something, pissing everybody off. Right, so I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith. Right. I don't know if it's actually happening, but apparently Jada Pinkett Smith from splitting from husband Will Smith, divorce did feel right for us. Right. So if you finally decided to break the chains and set that man free, I would say, well done. You've done the right thing. Now, my second bit of advice would be to you is go and seek some counselling because you're an absolutely vile woman. Right? When you put that man through, okay, and yes, he did react, and he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, right? But you knew he was going to do that. You pushed all these buttons, right? And you actually have destroyed that man. So if you're finally actually letting him go because you've had this weird secret crush on Tupac that's been dead for decades, then that's great. I'm glad you finally let him go. Because you know what? That man could have had happiness with another actress, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Because you're just, as I said, you have manipulated that man over the last few decades. I don't even know why you're with him. Every opportunity you've got to put him down, you put him down. You ruined his Oscar moment. You actually ruined it. She said that, right? She actually said in an interview that she was actually surprised that it went up. But if you watch that video footage again, when Chris Rock makes the joke, she initially laughs and so does Will, right? But then she gives Will this look, right? She gives Will this look, and then that's when he changes his whole demeanor, right? So she manipulated him. She did not want him to have that Oscar moment. She wanted him to do that to Chris. She wanted him to make a show of himself. So his Oscar moment would be ruined for him. Because that's how vindictive that woman actually is, right? She is poison. She's poisoned these kids, poisoned him, right? And I know people will say, well, he should have manned up and all of this. It's not easy. It's not as easy as you all think it is when you're manipulated like someone like that, right? Okay? Manipulation is a very powerful fucking tool. And trust me, right? His head was fucking gone a long time to fucking go. So here's the thing. Here's the sad story about that marriage, or ex-marriage maybe, allegedly, right? Is that he absolutely worshipped the ground she walked on and loved her with all of his heart, but she didn't. And she never did. And I don't think she did love him, to be quite honest with you. So if they're divorcing, he's finally had enough and he's divorcing. Even when she was showing her book, right? She has him in the video. But even in the book, she's slagging him off in the fucking book. But yeah, she has him in the video when she's revealing the book to everybody. She got beaten by Britney Spears in the charts, by the way. Nobody wants to read her fucking book because they all know what she's like. Even people in the industry know what she's like, but nobody's had the balls to call her out. Right? That's why Denzel Washington and other actors, when that happened, they went to a break. They calmed Will down. They knew exactly what went on there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I hope he is. I actually hope he is divorcing her, or she's divorcing him, because look at no matter what you look. We've all grown up with Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then we followed his I followed his music career, and then obviously his acting career. He's been an actor that I've watched, and look at even some of the movies that haven't been great. I love them because the fact that he's actually in them, because he's one of my favorite actors and always has been one of my favorite actors. But listen, he's not at the caliber of Denzel Washington, but where he has done some roles like Ali and stuff like that have been very powerful movies. And Will Smith doesn't get the credit I think he deserves to be as a serious actor. But he can do the serious acting, and he's fucking brilliant when he does the serious acting. I just hope he gets a second chance now, to revive his career. He's done a couple of things now, so hopefully it goes up, and hopefully the Oscars as well do the right fucking thing and lift that stupid fucking ban, you idiots. right? He's had literally given Oscars to you know what, right? And then escape the country and all of that. Don't be giving me that nonsense, right? Right? Lift that ban. Absolutely ridiculous, man. The guy is a fucking, he is, in my opinion, he's a fucking legend, right? He made a mistake. Yes, he did. He made a mistake. I'm not even defending it. He shouldn't have reacted, right? But he did. But you have to remember, this is why I've always came at it from this angle. Other people have been quick to just slam him and drag his name through the mud. But I can understand what it's like to be manipulated, right? So I know what it can do to you and your brain and your way of thinking, right? He was not thinking when he did that. She gave him a look and that was it. He knew what that look meant, man. She demanded that by that look, she demanded that he take some action. And unfortunately, because she's worked on him for fucking decades, he snapped. And she will, and then did you see it? She was actually smiling, right? Because she knew she'd ruined his moment. And that's what it was. He was winning an Oscar, man. He was winning an Oscar. And an Oscar that I believed it was deserved anyway. Not even for that, but for his career as a whole. That was his moment. And she fucked her up for him. Right? Fucked it up for him. I love him, man. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he's brilliant in that. I remember the first time Independence Day came out. Right? And I know he's in other movies before that. But Independence Day was his baby. Right? He was the head man in that movie. And by God, they've actually updated the effects and all and cleaned them up. But by God, that movie still to this day, right, is a cracking fucking movie. It's a cracking movie, man. My God, unbelievable, great movie. I love Independence Day. The second one was a shambles, but the first movie, it's that was one of my favorite sci-fi movies, at the time and growing up as well. It's that would be in. I have to be honest. If I was to do a top 20 list, that'd be definitely in the top 20. Don't know where because I'd have other movies, but I didn't like Independence Day too. It was absolutely ridiculous. So the only reason why Will Smith wasn't in the movie because Will Smith lately he has his own production company as well, by the way, guys. So when he does movies now, he likes to put family members in it and people that he knows. And I get that. Robin Williams used to have the same homeless person or homeless people in his movies. I get that, right? It's great. So the only reason that stopped him because he wanted his son in the movie and they refused. So that's why they brought in the actor then. They killed him off and then obviously, the son. And I was a shit. Listen, the Independence Day 2 was never going to work anyway. It was a stupid idea. I kind of get where he was coming from. Oh, they could come back again. Blah, 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 blah. Right? But it was... I don't know what the director was thinking, but he's lost the plot over the last couple of years. Yeah, that side of it, Nicholas, was actually great. But you know what? Why not do a prequel? Why not do the prequel? Right? Instead of doing a second Independence Day movie, they should have done a prequel and we should have learned more about the aliens. Obviously, we got a bit of detail of the aliens that they're like locusts and move from planet to planet. But it would have been nice to kind of see some of that and see how other civilizations failed to beat them. Then it would have made Independence Day even more elevated because they obviously won on Independence Day, but how they beat them as well. Like, do you know what I mean? But Hollywood don't think like that. They don't think, oh no, let's do a sequel. Nobody asked for a fucking sequel anyway. And I even remember at the time people not asking for a sequel. A prequel would have been much better. I mean, there was some over the top. I mean, I know Independence Day had some over the top scenes, but they were still kind of believable. But in this one, it was just totally. Do you know what it was like? I loved the first movie, right? The Meg, right? And the Meg was cheeky fun, bit of horror with a Meg, right? Brilliant movie, right? But they did the second one, The Trench too, and it was just so over the top and nonsense, and it was a waste of Jason Statham, I have to say. And they killed off one of the main characters or one of the characters in the movie for the second one. I was like, you know what? Even then I thought, I'll give it a go. And I think the first 20 minutes is actually decent. And then it just descends into this fucking. Just leave it out. Again, that's a movie you could have done a prequel to. But there is one sequel I want to talk about. There's actually two sequels that are happening this year in 2024. So we'll have the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, Frozen Empire. The trailer, well, it's a small little teaser trailer. It looks decent. I think Paul Rudd is going to be the star of this one, definitely. It looks like it. And his enthusiasm for this role just, it'd be nice because I think everybody has a bit of a soft spot for Paul Rudd. I think that would be fair to say. And I do like the first Ant-Man movie myself. I do like Paul Rudd. I like movies that he's been in. So I'm actually glad he's doing kind of these bigger movies, as I would call them. But I just hope he knocks it out of the park for this one. So let's hope Frozen Empire is a good movie. We did get some scenes in the original movie, especially the scene where he punches the alien in the face. Welcome to Earth. So yeah, but to me that they did that because obviously they couldn't agree with Will Smith, and I think we got cheated because Will Smith wanted to come back. Be under no illusion. There's this fucking thing the media are writing as well that he didn't. He set the record straight. He explains why he's not in the second movie. And it's so fucking stupid. And all I would have said to the director, like, he made the first movie. He was the star. So if he wants to put one of these kids in the fucking movie, have them in the background or whatever. Give them a bit of fucking dialogue. Just give them something to fucking do. Like, he still has a family. What would be wrong with that? Say getting a different actor. Obviously, he had a step kid in the first movie. You could have actually had either Will Smith's son played the step kid, or it was a different kid. They had a baby together. Like, Jesus Christ, man. But the script was all over the place, though. The script was all over the place. But the other sequel that's coming out, and I'm very coy about this one, because when I watched the trailer and then I listened to Tom Connors, because we had him on this channel when we were talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, and everything that they actually spoke about happened in the movie. So Tom, I would say Midnight's Edge, if people want to get proper, information and info on anything that's happening in Hollywood, I would say that their success rate is very, very fucking high, very high. We're looking at I would say nearly 100%, man. I don't think they've ever gotten anything wrong. But I've lost my train of thought there. What was I going to say? Yeah, but Beverly Hills Cop is returning to our screens, and it's Netflix. Now, I'm going to say something here, right? Eddie Murphy has already done a sequel to one of his classic movies. Coming to America got a sequel, and me and Cheryl watched the movie. We were looking forward to it, and I was even saying it last night because we were talking about it again. I said, like, there were two scenes literally in that movie that were funny, and the rest of the movie was absolutely dire. Now, Beverly Hills Cop is returning, right? So the first two movies, in my opinion, are in my opinion, are my favourite. The third one, I wasn't. It has moments. It's not a bad movie, but to me, the tone was a lot lighter, and I didn't like that. I like the gritty tone from the first one with the bit of comedy that was put in it, and that's why I think it worked. The second one, they went a little bit more glamorous with it, but it still kind of maintained a bit of the grittiness, and the comedy was a bit more. There was a bit more comedy in the second one. And then by the third one, it just descended into this whole kind of funny fucking comedy. It didn't feel like a proper Beverly Hills Cop movie. It felt like a kind of a cheap knockoff version, right? So the third one I haven't been a huge fan of, but I have a soft spot for it. I'll still watch a part of the true. So this movie for me was a kind of a way for them to kind of correct the mistake that they made with the third one. Um, but it seems like Netflix, according to Midnight's Edge, they're being very coy in their trailer because apparently, according to them, Midnight's Edge, um, this movie is going to be about Axel Foley's daughter. Now, before everybody jumps in and say, it's gone, it's going to be a feminist movie, let me just say, look, if they go from it from this point of view that the daughter is kidnapped and he goes to Beverly Hills to try rescue her and all of that shit, I'll be down for that. But if he's a side character in his own movie, well, then this is going to be a disaster. And that's what I fear that Tom is kind of indicating without actually coming out explicitly and saying it. But that would worry me. And I think we could be, Eddie Murphy could have. Listen, Eddie Murphy is trying to come back because a lot of these actors kind of disappeared for a while, done a bit, whatever. TV work or whatever, or just faded away for a while and they're making a comeback. If Eddie Murphy thinks that re bringing back old franchises that he starred in is going to resurrect his Hollywood career, then he's in for a rude awakening. This movie has to be perfect. Seriously, it actually has to be perfect. You cannot listen. Look, people will either, as I said, the third movie caused a bit of controversy. Some people say, there's only Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Some people do like the third one and will add the third one as a trilogy. It'll be the same with this one. They don't get it right, it'll either be loved or hated by people. But for me, this movie has to be perfect because the third one was a shambles, in my opinion. So I don't know, but I'm really worried about it. Got to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, that is another movie that's coming out. I'm up to date on all the new Planet of the Apes movies, but there is a new one coming out, folks, and yeah, hopefully we look at all those movies have been decent. I don't think they've made a bad one. Uh, you know, I don't think they have made a bad one. I think they've been very good. I've really enjoyed them. So yeah, I can't wait. But again, you can get an old franchise, and you can actually make it good if you love the source material. And I think that the people that are behind this, they have an understanding of the source material, but they put their own spin on it, which I like. You know, so let's see what happens with the next one. But it will be very, very interesting indeed. Uh, it's kind of slow on the Doctor Who front, guys. So unless something major comes out, there's no point of talking about it. Well, I'm just looking there. more about Meghan Markle. I tell you, they're going in on Matthew Perry quite a lot. I think that's disgusting. He's not even dead long. I mean, this kind of headline, I'm not even going to read the article, but I hate these kind of headlines, right? Because this is what's wrong with the world today. This is why everybody gets distracted. Brad Pitt on eggshells with ex Angelina Jolie, but wants to introduce new girlfriend to kids. Listen, bottom line is this, right? Celebrities are weird, right? It seems to be okay when a celebrity actress or whatever, celebrity woman, uh, and her partner split up on her husband, whatever, right? But when she starts dating, there's none of this shit by the media, she's nervous about letting it get, you know what I mean? Or he's nervous, you know what I mean? It's such bullshit, like. It's such bullshit, like. Just leave it fucking out. Let them get on with it. They're both weirdos anyway. You know what I mean? So I mean, who gives a shit? Sophia Turner splits up with the Jonas brother bloke, whatever, and apparently the headline is how are they going to handle the public breakup? Will it give it a break, you morons? Did you ever watch the Scream TV show? I didn't like that they changed the ghost face mask. Uh, I'm pretty sure I did watch it, but I can't remember, man. I'm pretty sure I did. Um, but the Scream franchise is one. Well, the first three movies I really liked. I've got to be honest. It was a good. I don't know what it's like now. I don't know what it's like now. I wouldn't watch the new movies. I think I did watch Scream 4. Um, but the first three were very clever. I mean, you're right. Should have been a trilogy and stayed a trilogy. Again, it's Hollywood milking the cow. It's like Saw. They could have stopped on the first movie, but they decided to do multiple sequels and stuff like that. It's madness, though. Um, but look, that's really it. I mean, you don't want to know anything about Anne Hathaway and her dress. Apparently shared denied the media conservatorship over son's money. I don't know. I mean, again, Cher is a bit of a train wreck lately with some of her comments. Apparently, Taylor Swift, celebrates Christmas Day by watching her boyfriend playing NFL because apparently that's big news nowadays. Because as I said, we're getting distracted from the things that we shouldn't be getting distracted by, as I said yesterday. But look, I'm gonna leave it there. Scream 6 was really good. I've heard good things about it, but look, you know, for me, I'd have to watch from the start again and work my way through those movies. Uh, to because I don't, you know what I mean. I'm one of those like there's a sixth movie now. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll be like, well, I have to watch from the start because for me it's important, right, to see do they all still do they all still you know fit because the newer movies might be slightly different. So I like to see if there is differences by watching. Obviously, I'll watch the originals and I'll watch all the new ones and just see how they compare. And that's what I do there. So I'm gonna have to start watching. And it's the same with the new Saw. Apparently, the new Saw was really good. But the thing about it is, I don't want to go through that movie franchise again because that movie franchise done me head in after the second movie. And just got a bit ridiculous after that, and the deaths just got more elaborate. It was like Final Destination. I used to love that franchise, but every movie got more and more ridiculous. You know, the more elaborate deaths, but they were deadly, like the way they did it. Um, so, but again, they've done newer movies of that franchise. Apparently, they've gone full circle now. And everybody was saying, yeah, the latest one is great and all of that. But I'll have to go back and watch those movies from the start all the way through now, because I'm a bit of a weirdo like that. I just can't watch the newer ones without going back watching the old ones. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we'll leave it there for tonight, guys. I want you to enjoy our weekend, get some rest and all of that, and I will be back in full swing by next week. Also, I'll let you know, but I might do because we still have the movies on to do. So I might squeeze it in over the weekend there, maybe Saturday or Sunday. But I'll let you know. I'll fill you in on X anyway. Let you guys know first that are on X, so you will know if it's going ahead or not. But we do plan on doing that. If I don't do it the weekend, it'll be done by Monday because I want to get it done so we can then start picking some new movies that we can watch. And as I said, we're going to put Classic Who on a bit of a break, but not long. I just want to, as I said, do other stuff. And I'm going to have some guests on as well, and stuff like that. And as I said, that stream will go up this weekend as well. So look out for it. We will have Gothic Therapy on with us on Wednesday at 2 p.m. It didn't happen this Wednesday. There were wires crossed and all of that. Sent them a DM, but then they had problems with their plumbing and stuff, and they have been having problems with their plumbing for a while. I think because I've seen a few things. So what ended up happening was it didn't happen, but it's happening this Wednesday. So I told them I'll put the stream up so everybody knows and is aware that it's happening. So that's Gothic Therapy, a husband and wife team on YouTube. They've been covering Doctor Who, Disney Plus, all of that stuff that's been going on in the entertainment industry. We also have The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Go and check them out. We got Dan's channel Type 40. Check them out. Rabbi from Another Planet. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Drawing Jack Rabbit. Aldred Audio Visual, which is Problem Being's channel. And he does have a channel under Problem Being as well if you want to see Lee grooving and singing and stuff. He was a pop star back in the day. Oh, well, no, sorry. Pop star's the wrong one. Electro, whatever it was. But yeah, man, go and check it out. His music is actually pretty good. I was actually surprised because you know the way people say they're, I used to sing, and you'd be like, oh, no, here we go. But Lee's music is really, really good. He has some standout songs, him and his band. So if you haven't checked them out, please do. Good night, Michael. What else have we got? The Gobster, yeah, go and check out the Gobster. I think Gobster is doing another rebrand, or he's rethinking stuff he's doing on his channel, but he did say he'd let everybody know what the story is there. So check out his channel as well. We also have Ballstreck's channel. Ballstreck, as you know, has been back lately doing videos and stuff like that. So go and check out his channel. And finally, I think it's Sense Sphere, or is it? Yeah, the Sense Sphere channel. That's with Brendan. We had him on here a while back. Go and check out there. He's just doing something different. There you go. Gobster. So there you go. Go and check it out. Anyway, the Sense Sphere with Brendan as well. Go and check that out as well. If I've forgotten anybody, I do apologize. There's so many channels now that I have to name that I just, that's why PD's in charge of that, because he remembers most of the time because we got so many now. Oh yeah, and the melon rattler. I want to give that a mention because obviously, Mr. Tardis has been having a meltdown over the melon rattler because Mr. Tardis always finds a new target. He kind of moves on when he knows he can't get the better of someone. So it'll only be a matter of time before he kind of moves on from the melon rattler. But got to be honest, if you haven't seen it, some funny shit, man. Um, he's literally listen. He's all right. But let's just say, he needs to cop on. He's a grown ass man. But there you go. Anyway, I want you to enjoy your weekend. If I see you over the weekend, I'll see you over the weekend, is what I'll say. If not, we'll definitely do that movie zone by Monday. So everybody gets it now. It is a Christmas movie, but because I didn't do it over the Christmas because I was sick, I'm not going to let people down who wanted to watch this movie. So it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and that's the movie that we will be watching. And it'll be a nice little way because we didn't obviously get to stream as much as I wanted over the Christmas and the New Year and all of that. So it'll be nice. It'll be a nice little way of wrapping up the whole Christmas period because obviously, as I said, I wasn't here. And then we'll move on then to next Thursday then with a set of three trailers from you to choose from, and we'll keep you in the loop on that one. So I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good evening, folks. But don't talk to you over this weekend. I'll definitely see you on Monday. But either way, have a good one. Take care. Look after yourselves, and I will see you for the next one, folks. Good night.